Hi there, Josh here. Welcome to FramesPerSecond. Today we're here in Sydney and we're just going to walk around taking some photos on film, of course. We're on Pentax K1000.
We are shooting Cinestill 400D for the first time.
And yeah, we're just going to walk around, might hit some touristy sites, might just hit random streets. So let's go.
So we're starting off in Bondi, and there will be another video earlier at Bondi as well with Kodak Gold, but right now we're doing Cinestill 400D, and I think it looks pretty good. I mean, obviously there's speculation as to what kind of film it is. People saying it's 250D. In my experience with 250D, this does look a little bit different. The highlights also don't have the usual halation you get with 50D or 800T. So it's very possible that it is a new film, but it probably still is being made by Kodak, just because they're the only ones that do make color negative film at them. I think the colors are pretty good. They're different to 250D in my experience, but the coloring's quite nice, especially with colors like red, and there'll be more examples of that later in the video. Now normally I would be shooting a 35mm lens, but with this video I mostly shot a 50mm. And a lot of that was just because I was shooting stuff that was further away than I normally would, just because we're kind of on these rocks by the beach. And yeah, it's been a while since I've used the 50mm. I ended up using one more on this trip than I had before, and it does kind of help you get some shots without being noticed as easily. But there's quite a lot of nice colors around this place. The blues did suffer maybe a little bit. I felt like with Ektar or even gold, I feel like the blues might have popped a bit more, but it's a good film and I like using it, and it's something I won't be afraid of using more often, especially given how often Portra 400 and 800 is out of stock these days. And this particular shot, this child in this pool with the ripples, this is my favorite shot from this roll. There's maybe like one other shot in contention for that, but it's a shot that I really like and I honestly wouldn't mind making a print of. And there's quite a few shots in this roll that I'm actually really happy with, which I just feel like I haven't been that happy with a lot of my rolls this year. But obviously I was traveling to Sydney, so a bit of a different location. I really haven't done any street around Brisbane in a while, to be honest, and I think I should try that again. But there was like a decent amount going on over at Bondi, and like there's this whole other section that a lot of people weren't at with these rocks. But it did get pretty cloudy, and yeah, it looked like it was potentially going to storm later. I honestly don't remember if it did, but a lot of clouds got in the way of the sun, but it did manage to come out at some nice times. And I like this shot too. Maybe would have liked it if it was a bit closer, but now this shot with the people bringing in the boat is the other shot that I really like a lot. Maybe I would have liked a bit more if it was a bit more to the right, or maybe even just a bit closer in. But there's a lot going on in that, and something somewhat exciting is happening, which I think really like makes it work. This shot from the other angle just isn't as good, because I think the crowd watching kind of adds a lot to it. I just like the red on this person's dress, and you can see the red in the dress in the background really pops too. And yeah, it was getting a lot cloudier, and so I think here is kind of where you first see the halation on the edge of the roofing, but it's still a bit different to the halation you get with 50D and 800T. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if it is just 250D with the remjet removed or if it's something else that Kodak has been producing for them. And there was this person with a dog, and so of course I had to take a photo. But yeah, it was kind of hard getting a decent shot because people would just walk in front, because it was a pretty crowded area. So yeah, at the end of the day I didn't get a decent shot, but I got some shots, so that was kind of something. But yeah, this was part of the Chinese New Year celebration, so the day after this was the official day. But because it was a weekend, there was quite a few things going on in the Sydney Chinatown. I had to take a photo of this because this guy's pretty much dressed like Freddy Krueger, and yeah, the red pops out quite nicely too. But yeah, that was the main reason I took that photo, just like I just had to get a record of it. And yeah, here you also see halation in the lights, but it's a lot less intense than the other Cinestill films, so I feel like they're doing something different. Yeah, here you can really see the red is really strong with this film. And so I definitely do recommend it if you're going somewhere with a lot of red, because the red pops quite nicely. And yeah, there was like these like random rabbits, and I just wanted to get an idea of the coloring, how that would work. And this shot I quite like a lot as well, and just the colors of it and just the environment. I think it's a good film, and it's a film I'm definitely going to shoot again, especially considering like we don't have a lot of film available at the moment, and this film's expensive enough not to be sold out quite yet. Gave me more than I was expecting, especially with the color, especially with the reds. I do think a lot of colors do stand out quite nicely with this, and that it does seem a bit more saturated than Portra 400. Though Portra 800 has good saturation too, but this is a really good alternative from the Portra films, especially if they're not available. There was this photo store shop front with Kodak Express on it, and I had to take a photo of that because I was shooting film, so I had to take a photo, of course.
So that's all the time we have for today. Please let me know your thoughts on the film, the images, and the camera in the comments below. Feel free to like and subscribe to us, post notifications so you know when there's a new episode. Anyway, I'm Josh. It's been Frames per Second. Just go out there, shoot some film.